Alright, so we actually decided to do a different song than the one I showed, but it's basically about getting ghosted. So I'm sure, like, hopefully you guys have not experienced it with that, but I'm sure you know what it is through like friends or something like that. But yeah, so we decided to um, kind of like emphasize the negative aspects of the aftermath of getting ghosted. You know, that feeling of being like, what the heck happened? Like, what's going on? Where did I go wrong? Like, looking through like situations in your head, like what you did, like what happened. And yeah, so basically our story, we chose this song because like it lends itself better to a story with like a beginning, middle, and end. And this one's kind of interesting though because we're gonna start in the present tense after the ghosting, and it'll be like flashbacks into the past where it'll start out, he'll be on his boat, right? So that's kind of like the metaphor. He's like lost at sea in his like emotions or something. And yeah, so he starts out on his boat and he like looks at his phone and checks his messages and no message from the girl. He's like wondering what happened, you know. And he goes through his phone for like hours and hours, and then suddenly he realizes that it's nighttime. So he goes outside, looks up at the stars, and then he enters this like dreamlike state, starts dreaming, like thinking of all the good times that he had, trying to like remember what happened basically. And then eventually towards the end of the dream, like things start getting bad and he comes back to reality and he sleptwalked to like the top of his boat and he is trying to cope with like what he just dealt with, and suddenly he starts like seeing things basically. It's like kind of heavy, but it's not, I don't know. But yeah, so he starts like seeing things and he has visions of the past and like of her mixed with like the present, and he just can't cope with all of it. Like weird creatures are in the water, and that's kind of like a metaphor of his anxieties and his self-doubt and stuff like that. And then a storm builds around him, and eventually the storm and the creatures cause his boat to break and he drowns. So it's not a happy story. It's just like ghosting sucks, and it's kind of like a social commentary on like how harsh people can be. But there might be a sequel where the guy like feels better because we all get past it, you know. But I really wanted to emphasize the negative aspects, you know.
If you're laughing, he feels better. If he's dead, it's gonna be
Yeah,
worse.
well, like yeah, he's saved by a mermaid or something. But like, I just like not all stories have happy endings, and I chose to give this one a sad ending because like it's kind of like a sad thing, and I wanted to really just drive that home and make it like as emphasize as much as possible the negative parts of it and make it like as sad as possible. But it's gonna be fun with like cool visuals and stuff like that. So the beach heat, it's kind of what I was talking about. Like I kind of covered a lot of it, but Kainani can like fill in the details, I guess.
It's kind of the same, but like we're just focusing about like the scenes on the boat, and a lot of like probably the images that we'll use is him looking at his phone a lot to show like how stressful it is. So like the whole thing is kind of supposed to be stressful with like uh, we're gonna have like rainy scenes until he starts having the flashbacks and then we use bright colors and um,
It's just like
yeah.
that contrast of bright colors and light colors shows that you can feel so good at one point and then it can all come crashing down, sadly. Yeah, so gonna do that. Lyrics are here, and we kind of I added like some little comments into what kind of visuals we could have in there. If you guys want to just like read these over, we put timestamps on them and stuff. It's a fun song to write, but good catharsis. So
If you could ever have any comments. Do you guys have any comments?
yeah, Gabriella.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
So you said he's kind of like lost at sea.
Yeah.
So what if instead of like text messages and a phone, you have like messages in bottles and just like a bunch of bottles that are filled with messages and he's not getting them, but he still has everything.
That could be cool. Yeah, I like that idea.
Just come back from the technology aspect of things and it makes it a bit nautical.
Yeah, totally.
Well, ludicrous or awkward side of the story because I would never see people in touch because I have no reason to do it.
Yeah, I mean, like, people ghost each other, it sucks. But I guess it was just focusing on, like, the returned effect, you know? But you don't really think about when you ghost someone, because, like, people do that. But, yeah.
Any other idea? I think what you need to do is you need to be a lot more detailed in the part where it says it sees creatures or monsters and stuff because that entails work. You have to build it. So I feel
Yeah.
like you gotta have maximum, the most for your mileage in quote means how many scenes you make. They have to kind of you can get the most out of it. Also, I feel
Yeah.
like in any song, there's always a chorus in which there's something repeating.
Yeah, so we do have a
So
chorus,
it'd be nice
as you
if you
can
had
see.
something like maybe a certain, monster, a certain ghost that somehow kind of kept floating and coming back and determine a little bit of a rhythm of the animation. Does it?
Right, right.
So it would be really nice that you were very much more detailed about the monster, who they are, how do they show up, do they come from the sea, are they just actually kind of shadows on the boat?
Yeah.
So I think having that spelled out would really help because then we get the extent of how much work you want to do, you have to do, and how much you convey.
So we were kind of trying to make it more linear, like despite the chorus, and somehow work that in. But I think having some sort of returning element during the chorus would be cool.
Also, remember
Like-
that the idea of trying to build a climax, right? You want to
Yeah.
build things. You don't want to have the scene that they're all happy and he's imagining them like in heaven, and then on the scene and everything is catastrophic. You kind of want to go a little bit back and forth, trying to kind of build up the climax. So there will be a point in which catastrophe hits, but it would be really nice that you have like happy scenes and his doubts, then another one happy scene, and then bigger doubts. You know what I mean? There was kind of an escalation. So that's why you kind of can bring that same monster coming back here and there because you kind of need to build up that sense of suspense. You kind of want the viewers to be there, like trying to wonder what's happening next. And all happy and all sad doesn't really, always work. So I feel like you need in your beat sheet to alternate, these scenes more than just have he sees her and he's happy to think about her and has all these great scenes, and then monsters show up. Beat sheet is more like spelling out the various, phases of the story.
Yeah, I guess we kind of went into more detail with that, like in the lyrics. You can like see in the comments. And we'll get to this with the storyboard too. I guess I've never really made a beat sheet, so
That's
like
okay.
I don't really know exactly what I mean.
Some people like to actually do everything in drawing format. So
Yeah.
they draw the story, and below it they put the beat sheet. And most of the time when they draw it, you can already see the camera moves. So some people like to concentrate it all, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, so we kind of had it spread out across the lyrics and the storyboard and everything, but yeah, so it starts out like in the present, sad day, like rainy, wake up in the boat, looking at his phone. He has like a headache, so he's like pressing on his head and checking his texts and looking at the clock, and then he finally goes out to the deck. And then it goes to the happy part, and you can see in the comments like happy memories, but yeah, then it goes back to the present day, and like right before the chorus, like he sees her ghost. So maybe we could do like she's coming in at the chorus every time, which is the returning part. So that I think that kind of works.
So you kind of have it.
Yeah, so we kind of have that rhythm that she returns every part during the chorus. But yeah.
Is this going to be
I think we're just gonna do like a storyboard because this is like we're just gonna do an animatic and maybe somebody could turn it into a film because this is both like the end of the road for us. So yeah. Because I'm graduating Kainani, I don't know. It's gonna take the next class.
trying to make a video, but you're right, it's going to be really hard to make a video of this.
Yeah, so I think we're just, if it does turn into anything, it's going to be like an animated film. Yeah. Or animated short. Animated music video, I guess. But we just wanted to focus on something that was like story driven and would like allow us to work on our camera moves and camera skills, like lighting, composition, stuff like that. And we figured this longer song with more information would lend itself to like
More of that. Yeah.
more of that. Yeah. So
Also, I'm not really sure about the monsters you depict. I mean, what are they?
yeah, Kainani like drew an octopus, so it looks pretty cool. But just like random sea creatures that just represent like his feelings, I
Do
guess.
they engulf the boat eventually?
Yeah,
Is
probably.
the
Like
octopus big enough that
probably, yeah. We could make it like a kraken kind of thing, and like she could turn into the kraken. I don't know. It might get complicated, but yeah. So creatures stir around him as the storm builds, and we're gonna have this weird like time lapse thing maybe, where he like grows a beard because so much time is going by. His eyes are going back and forth, and then the ship cracks, and that's like the climax, the maximum panic, and he's just like, oh crap, and he drowns in the water, and that's sad. But yeah. And then here's our storyboard, so you can see like he wakes up, or you can't really see this really pixelated. And these are like some really rough sketches. He wakes up, hits his alarm, it's like 8 a.m. And you can see it's like raining outside of his cabin here, and he looks at his, he sits out on the side of the bed, looks at his phone, starts like swiping through, looks back at his phone, it's super late, so he goes outside and looks at the stars, and it comes back down at the chorus, and they're like together again, and birds are flying, they're cheersing, having drinks, kind of happy, but you can tell she's like kind of not about it, like just kind of looking to the side. He doesn't know that though. Yeah, want to go to the next one. And then, yeah, it's still kind of happy, you know, like they're on the bow of the boat, laying on a towel, looking at the sun, sunbathing, and then it like goes up to the stars, and it's back to him, and he sees her ghost, and then like things get all weird, and he grows a beard, and like creatures are around, and there's like her, and he falls off into the water and drowns. So that's basically the idea. I think it like does have build up that way, but
you guys
maybe
think
we
it
could
has
work
enough
on
build
it.
up? Does it have enough kind of struggle and kind of trying to, you know, the kind of depicting the emotion is that good? Or would you want something anything different? What would you think?
Yeah, the boats. Yeah, that's
And here
the
there are no
idea.
monsters. There are no monsters.
I didn't draw them, but Kainani drew one on the next one. So this is kind of
I
like,
just did like a rough.
this is probably like the kind of colors we would use during the happy times, you know, like light colors and stuff like that. And maybe we could make like darker colors and black and white, or just all grays and blues and stuff for the monsters. We haven't really gotten our colors figured out, but we know that it's going to be like dark and light, pretty much.
We need structure, but
Yeah.
I don't think there's like setting and sitting in any way, you know. But I think overall you capture the emotion that you're trying to convey.
Like, yeah, okay, because I was like really concerned with structure to begin with, and I found it was just like really difficult for a music video. But I think this like kind of progression lends itself pretty well to the lyrics and the emotion behind it.
This is what I was asking, because in the prior part you were saying that there were these monsters that were showing up, but then in the storyboard they weren't appearing. So I was thinking in the storyboard there is obviously less drama because we don't have the monsters. So
Yeah,
I was
well,
just curious if the audience here was preferring to have the monster or not. Because I'm not
so
even
like
sure the monster are
monsters
necessary.
might like come in around this area, but
I'm just saying, I don't even know if they're necessary. It's up to you guys what you feel is
maybe it could just be a storm instead. Like that could be cool too.
Yeah.
But I want to have something that like breaks apart the boat, basically.
Yeah.
So that's like
it's going to be hard, rain and lightning. It's hard to draw it. Because eventually we'll have to do what you call matte painting and have these paintings done. So you might want to make the paintings of something that doesn't necessarily is not that atmospheric, or maybe it is, but they're harder to do, but they're really incredible once they're done well.
Right.
But we'll talk about that, and I'll bring you maybe examples. I was asking about the climax or not is more related to the fact that you had more monsters in the idea than in the real drawings, and I was wondering if we need them or not. But I think you have to follow the lyric, so you'll shape it based on the lyric.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to do. But yeah, we also had another idea. So this one is a lot more fun, but it's like crazy hectic. So this was like a rap I wrote. Also around the time I wrote Ghost, I was obviously feeling better. So it's just about me like hyping myself up, like chowing down on calamari, and it'd just be like ridiculous, like mashed up images, kind of like Words by Bo Burnham. And we were thinking of doing like a what's it called? Like, what was that software called again? Yeah, After Effects kind of video. Where like we would just have a ton of different imagery, some drawn on, some not, and we'd have like green screen backgrounds and just like composite my face onto like random things, and it'd just be hilarious. So this one's more fun. And I really like this idea, but it sounded kind of hard to do for a storyboard, and that's why we went with Ghost, because it's more story driven. So considering the scope of this class, like Ghost might be better for the storyboard.
This one has a lot of images actually.
Yeah.
Calamari, a new Ferrari, and butter and toast. I think that actually this one has a lot of imagery.
Yeah, it's just really short too. So like for the animatic, it'd be like pretty wild, but I don't know.
It's not the length.
Yeah.
If you wanted to go with this one, I don't think you have to tell the exact story of the lyrics. You can maybe come up with a new story that are inspired by the lyrics, and that could be your linear, like
progression.
Yeah, instead of just like hard to illustrate every line. Because it would be hard to illustrate every line. She has a very strong. Yeah,
we were trying to do that with Ghost a little bit too, but
I think Ghost to me is much more conducive of depicting what's in the song. This one to me, like you're saying, is much more fun and easy, and kind of you can make up an alternative route for what you're showing that has the same kind of spirit, though, the same kind of beat. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Does anybody have preferences? Do you guys, are you set on one or the other?
Not really. Like, what do you guys think?
What do you guys
you want
think?
Sad Boy Nick or Baller Boy Nick? Like,
I don't know.
No, that was a bad way to put it. But
the second one's probably
like the first one's really sad, but like I felt like it would be easier to do at first, but now it doesn't seem like that as much. So
I felt like the first one you were trying to make a sad song, and this one you kind of just like fun.
Yeah.
Alisa has a number too. Yes.
You think so? Yeah, because it's only like a minute long. There might be more stuff going on, but like we just have a lot of drawings.
Also, what you're showing in the other one is all stuff really hard to show. Like the atmospheric stuff, the storm and the ghosts and the underwater, when it's sinking. I feel like a lot of the stuff that you're showing in the other one, even though I do like the story and everything, is kind of a little bit a hard one for beginners. I mean, if you had drawn for 10 years, maybe, making a storm, it wouldn't be the big deal. This one is kind of has a lot more like a vignette feel to it, but it really depends where your heart is.
I kind of like the rap one more, to be honest. Like now that I'm thinking about it again, like
I kind of like the rap too. I feel like it would go like my style.
Yeah, we kind of made the switch without like thinking about it that much. We were just like, oh, it's more of a story, like storyboarding, it'll work. But it sounds like more difficult now than this one.
Remember, storyboarding doesn't mean necessarily that you have to have a linear story. You know, you have plenty of storyboards that are actually kind of like little skits of things, you know, little snippets of things, and they work just the same. Storyboarding is simply putting down what's in your piece. That's pretty much what it is. Putting down in a ideally kind of little sketchy, you know, sketches, but a storyboard is kind of a lot of things, can say a lot of things. So I think it's food for thoughts. Does anybody have any more input? So in this case, in the other one, you would come up with an animatic and the characters and the paintings, right? So you always have to have the characters, you know, drawn and with lighting and colors, and then you will have matte paintings, you know, 2 matte paintings. So that's what you would do for that one. For this one, you would have a completely different approach because you're actually holding on to video. You're doing video more, right? And you're superposing things on video. So you're going to probably learn even more with this one in terms of, you know, how to deal with videos and stuff like that. The other one, I say you learn more because she draws a lot. The other one is more about drawing. This one is more about coming up with moving images, right?
Yeah, so what would be like the deliverables if we were to take the music
doing this, you still have to somehow
do some sort of storyboard.
No, do some sort of design. Like when we're thinking about the character, does it have to look like Nick, or can we make it something else?
I don't think it. No, like
that's exactly.
It would just be kind of like a mouth and eyes on like say a jewel, like a giant like diamond, just like talking at you, and then like stuff would happen, you know, and it'd just be like metamorphic a lot.
I think we can talk about it, but I feel like you still would have to design whatever the visuals are. Totally. So what would be the deliverable? What that would be for anybody else? Whoever is doing whatever project, and eventually will deliver a idea of how this is progressing across time. So if it's a minute long, what is happening in that minute? What are the looks for the characters, if there are characters, or the objects, or the environment? You know what I mean? If you would deliver what everybody else delivered, no matter if it's in a video format, in a drawn format, in a 2D animation, that you create everything in Illustrator, for what I know. Ultimately, depending what your piece is about and what you want to do, we'll discuss how you can deliver. But we are going to deliver the story, characters, and the set where the characters are moving.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you. Sorry for taking up all our time.
I think it's good that you have options. In fact, I always tell people bring more than one if you can. Thanks, Kainani, for the lovely drawings. All right.